So Sonic is back to taking jabs at Mario and Nintendo. As we all know, Sonic has been doing extremely well over the last few years, with having consistently good games and also making a lot of revenue off their movies. And it seems like Sonic is the best place he has ever been in history besides the classic days. But even then, it wasn't making nearly as much money as they are today. And it seems like they are so confident in how well they are actually doing that they are now officially taking jabs at Mario, and to be more specific, Mario Kart World. Sega released a brand new trailer that's called Sonic Racing CrossWorlds Come Race on Our Level commercial, with the commercial starting out with a blurred television screen showing what implies to be Mario Kart, saying that we all know that kart racing game, we don't need to show you. And then flipping over to CrossWorlds saying, what if you could blast through to a whole nother level? Already implying that Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is already on an entirely different level and is better than Mario Kart World. And then later on in the trailer, flipping over to an RV, saying, what if you want to roam around in the open world? With again having a blurred out gameplay that implies to be Mario Kart. Saying not only that Mario Kart is slower, but are they also taking a jab at the open world game mode that Mario Kart World advertised so much? As we know, that was a big marketing thing that Mario Kart World had, as you had the ability to drive around an open world and be able to collect different things with the characters. Now, I don't know if they're necessarily taking a jab at that specific game mode, but it really seems like that might be somewhat of a jab at it. The other thing that they also have is a turtle and a cow next to the RV as well. Now, I think the turtle is supposed to represent a Koopa Troopa, or that you throw shells as items in the game. And they also have a cow there, as I think that is a kind of a jab that the cow is a playable character in the game. Now, they don't really specifically say anything about this cow, but I feel like that there's more to this than they kind of make it out to be in the trailer. I think the biggest thing that Sonic Racing CrossWorlds has over notably is the amount of characters that the game has, and also the collaborations. Typically something that Nintendo would never do unless it was a first-party game, like in Mario Kart 8, where they had Link and Splatoon characters join in, and also Animal Crossing. Saying that we can get characters like SpongeBob, Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Ninja Turtles, and you guys just have a cow as a playable character, like, we're already better than you for that. I don't know if that's necessarily what it's supposed to mean, or if they're just saying that they're slow, but hey, I don't know what exactly they're trying to say. That's just kind of what I take from it when you're kind of slowing it down. And also them being slow because they removed 200cc from Mario Kart World, a feature that was in Mario Kart 8, and a big feature at that a lot of people enjoyed. Where Sonic now has supersonic speed that makes the game even faster than what we're normally used to in the open playtest and now the demo that just recently released. And then with this car saying, welcome to the next level, come race on our level. With that saying, ditch Mario Kart and come play Sonic Racing CrossWorlds for a better experience. Now, believe it or not, this commercial is not an original commercial at all, and the biggest reason on why this is such a Mario jab is because this is a remake of an old commercial from back in the Genesis days, where Sega was trying to take a jab at the Super Nintendo, saying that the Sega Genesis has blast processing, allowing it for games to move quicker, which was Sonic's whole marketing thing back then, was him moving fast. And then flipping over to saying if you don't have blast processing, it flips over to a car that has a television in the back with Super Mario Kart on the back of it. Now, obviously, the current one doesn't show anything Mario related, but this one literally does, and it's the same exact idea. It's pretty crazy to think that Sega is on grounds to be even challenging a Mario game. Saying this 10 years ago, everyone would have called Sega absolutely crazy to do so. Now, obviously back then it made sense because they were such big rivals in the so-called console wars, with Sega even beating out Nintendo for a majority of that time. But years later, Sega kind of took a little bit of a dive, and Mario surpassed them easily. And that really caused for just a really big downfall with Sega and Sonic, with them not making consoles anymore, and then eventually building a relationship with Nintendo to bring Sonic games over to Nintendo consoles, like Sonic Advance, the adventure games, Sonic Heroes, and even later on down the road, having Nintendo work on Sonic games like Sonic Lost World. Or even you have the Mario and Sonic Olympic games, where they take an entire collaboration and even allowing Sega to use Mario characters in those games. As a lot of people say, it almost seemed like as if Sonic was just a long-lost cousin to Mario. Or even saying that Sonic is just a glorified Nintendo character that just is a part of Sega. These are all things that people used to say in the past. Obviously, you don't hear it much now, but back when these games were coming out, that was a pretty common thing to hear. Or a lot of people even calling for Nintendo just to buy out Sega and take the Sonic name. And Sonic would just be way better off with Nintendo making those games. Sonic definitely had a rough past in the early early 2000s, with a pretty bad reputation of having really badly reviewed games and being somewhat of a laughingstock of gaming. But it's pretty crazy to see how far he has come in the likes of Sonic Frontiers, Sonic X Shadow Generations, the movies, and now Sonic Racing CrossWorlds seeming to be a great game. And in my opinion, from all the time that I have personally put into it with the open playtest and now the demo, I personally think that Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is much better than what Mario Kart World is. It's just pretty crazy to see that maybe Sega might be burning that relationship with them. Another big thing to note on them burning that relationship is in the Digital Deluxe version of Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, you get the ability to play the game 3 days early. That is, you can on PC, Xbox, PlayStation. If you order the Digital Deluxe version on the Nintendo Switch, you do not get this game 3 days early, meaning that you are handicapped for purchasing this game on the Nintendo Switch. Is this another jab at Nintendo or something along those lines? Because it's really weird that that would be the only console that doesn't get the game early. There's no reason on why they shouldn't, especially considering the relationship in the past couple years. Did Nintendo deny this and this is the reason that Sonic is firing back with this so-called commercial now? Or is Sonic trying to surpass Mario once again? Something is definitely going on behind the scenes that we don't know about, and I think it's going to be something that we eventually get revealed to us later on. Now, another thing that's pretty funny that now fans have even gotten into this kind of banter is the Nintendo of Europe Twitter page posted a thing about the first online event coming to Europe for Mario Kart World. Now, if you scroll down into the comments, oh boy, it is pretty crazy just how much fans are going crazy with this RV pic. Like, it goes on for so long of people just roasting the absolute hell out of Mario Kart. If this doesn't show that Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is doing something right, I don't know what will, because this is huge for Sonic. It is pretty crazy how much people are coming together of Sonic and even Mario fans alike, just saying that Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is doing much better things than what Mario Kart World's doing. Like, you can actually just scroll for so damn long on this and just see how many pictures are in here. And even to add fuel to the flame, Takashi Iizuka had some stuff to say about Mario Kart World. Now, the biggest thing that he was asked is what was his reaction to Mario Kart World being revealed, knowing that they were working on Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, and he said that he was surprised by it, but Mario Kart World's announcement had no influence on the game. In my way, I feel like he's saying that he doesn't really care that Mario Kart World was announced, like he's very much sticking to his guns and thinking that Sonic Racing CrossWorld is going to do amazing and it's going to do its own thing and be better than this game. Like, they're very, very confident in the things that they are saying about Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, and I think that with everything that has come out about CrossWorlds and how solid the game is and how much content the game genuinely has, I think that they should be confident, and I think that this game is legit going to review better, play better. Now, is it going to sell better? I'm not too sure about that. Now, Mario Kart World was the only first-party launch title for the Nintendo Switch 2, and the Nintendo Switch 2 sold extremely well in its opening month, with Mario Kart World selling over 5.63 million copies as of June 30th. Now, I do think that Sonic could do this. It's a bit of a stretch, if you ask me. Now, comparing it to Team Sonic Racing that sold over 3.5 million copies for a game that came out in 2019, you can kind of see where I kind of have some speculation on how well this game is going to sell. Now, I think that Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is 5 times the game Team Sonic Racing is. I didn't enjoy Team Sonic Racing, and I'm really, really enjoying Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, and I already have more hours in Sonic Racing CrossWorlds than I did in Team Sonic Racing as a total. And the game hasn't even released yet. I really hope it does. I really would love to see Sonic outsell Mario Kart. It's just really as if the odds are stacked against them, considering that Mario Kart World was a launch title with the Nintendo Switch 2. So it had a whole console's launch with it and being pretty much the only game to play with it besides the old Switch games. And Sonic doesn't necessarily have a whole console coming out with it, but on the flip side, it does have an advantage being that it's releasing on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch. So it has 3 more consoles over. So it does definitely have the chance to do it. I just think it's somewhat unlikely. Mario, unfortunately, is still the bigger name and the more common game that is sold. And considering that Sonic Frontiers is the only game that is kind of really rivaling that kind of sales, where Sonic Frontiers sold over 4.5 million copies worldwide in the first half of 2025, I would be very surprised to see Sonic Racing CrossWorlds surpass Frontiers, let alone Mario Kart. that's why I would say I don't really expect it to, but I think if this game reviews extremely well, people are constantly playing it, showing support for the game, it has a, active player base that kind of sticks around, I think this game's going to be in very good hands, and I think that this game is going to live for a very long time. I have so much ambitions to play this game for a very long time, especially with the online features and being able to play with people. I can't wait for the game to release, and it seems like there's just so much to do with customizing stuff, skins being available, a bunch of playable characters and DLC characters and courses and CrossWorlds, online features. Like, this game has so much over Mario Kart in my opinion. And that DLC stuff is probably a really big advantage of this game as well, with having the likes of Pac-Man, SpongeBob, Ninja Turtles, like we were saying. I don't ever see Nintendo doing something like that. I don't ever seeing SpongeBob in a Mario game. I don't think that would ever happen, let alone having Sonic in a Mario game. Yeah, we have Mario and Sonic and we have Smash Brothers where they are in the same game, but there were many attempts on making a Mario and Sonic game and it was shot down by Nintendo multiple times. So Sonic's willingness to be able to collaborate with people is going to be a big advantage to them, because it's going to draw people like SpongeBob fans into the game, people that love Ninja Turtles into the game, people that love Persona 5 into the game. It's going to draw a lot of those fans into the game just to play as those characters and play a racing game of those characters. And even their marketing is going crazy as of lately, because as of recording this, it seems like Sonic is actually coming to Fortnite very soon. So that's another really big thing that could be happening in collabs, and he also is already in Rocket League as of the time of this recording. So it seems like Sonic is really willing to go all out for its marketing and collaborations, which is really awesome to see, and it's something that Nintendo should honestly take notes of, because they really aren't the greatest marketing people. It's just they kind of let their products speak for themselves. And hey, it works for them, so be it. But could Sonic Racing CrossWorlds really surpass Mario Kart? I think it could. I think it's unlikely, to be honest with you, but I love that how confident Sega really is in this game, and I love that Sonic is even considered to be a rival to Mario anymore. Because years ago when I was a kid playing Sonic Adventure, Sonic 06, Sonic Unleashed, people laughed at me for playing Sonic as a kid. Like, I'm not even joking about that. I would go to school and say that I played Sonic games and people would laugh at me for playing Sonic games over the likes of Mario or Zelda or anything like that. Sonic was very much the laughingstock of gaming for a really long time, with people that didn't even know anything about Sonic making fun of games like Sonic 06. Now, Sonic 06 is an absolute mess. I get it. But it had a lot of really good things, and honestly, as a child, I played the crap out of Sonic 06. I loved running around as Soleon. I loved playing as multiple characters. I loved playing as Silver. Like, there was so many things I loved about the game that even though it was a bad game, I still found a lot of enjoyment in hours of the game. So seeing that as a really big competitor to Mario now is such a great feeling as a Sonic fan, and just somebody that has adored Sonic since they were 3 years old. So even if it does not surpass Mario or any of the Nintendo IPs, or even when Kirby Air Riders come out, I'm just happy to see that Sega is willing to take a risk and take jabs at Nintendo, and a lot of people are seeing that Sonic is a competitor to Mario once again. Now, I really hope that they don't sully the relationship with Nintendo entirely, as I really like seeing a lot of the collaboration stuff. I love that Sonic is in Smash Brothers. He's been my main since Brawl. I really loved the Olympic games when they were coming out, even though they're not making them anymore. And I really liked when they did the whole Sonic Lost World DLC of adding the Zelda Zone and the Yoshi Zone. I hope that this isn't entirely the end of their collaboration for stuff and they don't entirely ruin their relationship or burn any bridges, but I hope this is more of just a friendly kind of competition. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you guys going to be purchasing Sonic Racing CrossWorlds? Or if you're watching this and you're a Mario fan, do you think that it is possible that Sonic Racing CrossWorlds could surpass Mario Kart World? Or are you considering buying the game even though you don't play a lot of Sonic games? I would love to know in the comments below on what you guys think about everything. But with all that being said, guys, Sega does what Nintendo don't, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!